Well, hey, crew. Welcome back to camp. Appreciate you spending some time with us. I think you all remember our program manager, Chris Woodward. We're just enjoying another wonderful campfire, beautiful night. This is a special time, and I really appreciate you joining us again. Well, Chris, you've been with CYO, I think it's just over a year, right?
That's right.
All right.
Yeah.
And things going well?
Very well. Very well. Yeah, a lot of time to reflect, a lot of time to look at what we do, which is awesome. I've actually been in nonprofit management for going on 17 years now, working with youth and their families. And so this has been a wonderful experience for me, definitely. And lots of thoughts. My wife will tell you I'm full of a lot of things, but some of those are ideas and thoughts. And been thinking a lot about lately, I've always had the operational piece, the program piece,
Sure.
and the boots on the ground, the direct line with the participants and clients and whatnot. But I haven't had a lot of experience at kind of where you're at.
Yeah.
So it occurred to me, I don't know that I have that skill yet, and I wanted to ask you, how in the world do you find the courage, I guess, as it were, the ability to go out there and ask people for the massive amounts of money that we have to find every year? I mean,
Yeah.
we charge little to nothing and operate mainly on donations and fundraising, and in order to do what we do, we've got to find a lot of money every year. And I just, how in the world do you do that?
Well, it starts with finding good people who we don't have to pay. No, you're right. Leading a nonprofit, it's not my background. I've been very fortunate to be doing it now for 19 years through CYO. And what started off a little bit awkward, for sure, out there introducing the fact that we are a charity, and kind of was tough. And I could see it in their eyes, Chris, that the first thing they were looking for is my handout, and that's just not where anybody wants to be. So I appreciate the question. It's a great question. And but I'll tell you, I've learned something along this ride of leading CYO, and it's a little rule that I hope that we all can live by, and know that you've heard it. But we call it the 90-degree rule, and it's really simple, Chris. And it's really worked for us. Being in the business of relationships, it's pretty natural to come into it and want to shake somebody's hand. And doing that genuinely, trying to find out, learning more about somebody, and whether they're a prospective donor or not. It's wonderful and it's fun to start like this. Mm-hmm. Well, Chris, in no more than 90 degrees, it's kind of funny that we ultimately end up at that flat hand, representing, that we have a need. But along the course of this is a great opportunity to find out more about a prospective donor and find out maybe what their needs are. And be intentional about asking, would you be interested in learning about CYO? And maybe ask a question, why is it that you'd be interested in CYO? And many times, Chris, you find out that they're looking for a good charity. Mm-hmm. They're looking for a good cause. And as they better understand the criticality of relationship building, and if they have been an outdoors person and they understand the value of the curriculums that we teach, it's pretty easy to get into a discussion that leads us to the needs, listening and hearing that they have some needs, to find a cause to get involved with. And we have some needs as that maybe that cause that they'd like to get involved with. And by golly, if we can get back to doing this, it's really meant to be.
Right.
And so it's really been a fair way, I think, Chris, of finding out who's out there that believes in our mission, wants to be part of our mission. And I don't know, Chris, does that sound like something that makes it easier for you? Because you know what? You don't always just get to do programming, right. And you don't always get to get out there and cast that fly rod that you love to do. So it's important that we share tools that that would feel comfortable for you too.
I like to do this too.
I know you do. And you do it very well.
Thank
and
you.
we very much appreciate that. And so, it kind of reminds me that even at that, in this, it's really important, Chris, to think about, is this really time well spent? Am I wasting this person's time? And we don't want to do that, as you know. And so if we keep it at that and we're honest about that, it can come pretty natural. Well, Chris, thanks for being here again at the camp. Thank you, folks, for being here at the fire. And till next time.